Hey, this is James from our Spring Farming Country. I know, you don't get to see me that much on video. Today happens to be a good day, so I figured, why not? Besides, it appeases Crystal and I don't get to hear so much of this. When are you gonna get on camera and talk? Today, we're gonna disconnect this thing. I know, a lot of people say, hey, that's pretty complicated to put on and off, but it's really not. What we're going to do first is we're going to get her all nice and warm. So we'll pull her forward then, stretch her out, and I'll walk you through on how to disconnect her. Be right back. Okay, so what we have here, of course, is a backhoe attachment on an LS Tractor XR4155. It's an hydrostatic transmission, not that that really matters for this, but let's see if we can do this. Nope. But hey, look. You got a goat. There we go. So, still figuring out this camera. This is why I don't do that much. But, this is the way that I do this. Not that I'm a professional by any means, but this is the way that I found simple for me. And if it helps you, it helps you. If you have any positive comments, leave them down below. So this backhoe, again, once we drop it, you'll see, but it attaches to the subframe right here. It slides pretty much like on a sled. Simple attachment, the sled, and again, too dark, but 2 pins. And 2 hydraulic lines. That's it. Easy to operate. Not the hardest thing in the world. Crystal picked it up really fast. She's never been on a piece of equipment ever. As a prime example there, for me, to let her drive, I have to come out of the hospital really doped up from a back surgery to even let her drive me around and, you know, put her on this backhoe attachment, and in 5 minutes she's operating, digging out huge tree stumps. But, you know, that's how quick and easy it is to operate. She's like a professional on it now. So let's get to that and we'll go disconnect. So I don't know how much I'm going to be able to show you, because once I fire up the tractor, it's going to get really loud inside the building. But what we will do is go, I guess, shot by shot. Let me shut this off, get it fired up, and we'll go first step. Okay, I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to hear this or not, but what I do is I boom out, make sure my bucket is flat on the ground. Then my outriggers. Of course, you have your securing brackets here, but again, not sure that it'll be the same on all attachments. You will release those. Of course, they're going to be a pain because they're never a pain on anything else, but until you're recording. And by the way, in here, it just happened to be a happy accident. There's a post there that happened to be there whenever we had a temporary goats in here when they were much younger. and that post just happens to be where I line up whenever I drop the backhoe attachment in here. So I leave it there. Not intentional, just a happy accident as a marker. I get everything just barely touching. Okay, so one of the things that, of course, not doing this every day, even everybody forgets something. I gotta raise this outrigger back up. And you can't forget your floaty. You gotta have your floaty. But first, turn off your tractor. And I'll have to stop you for a second because you have to pull your carter on the 2 pins below. Sometimes those 2 pins, they'll come right out with just out any pressure on your outriggers. Sometimes they're a little snug, but there is a carter pin right on the bottom of each of those 2 pins down there. You can see I got both pins removed. Both pins are sitting here. This is where I leave both pins whenever backhoe is stored. I'm a creature of habit. I need to know where everything is at. Everything needs to be in the same position all times. If it gets moved, don't work well for me. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well or not, but in that plate right there, you will see now a little gap. I'm holding the flashlight and the camera, so I can't, the gap is right here. Now that means the pressure is off of that skid. I'm going to pull forward now just a little bit to get that skid out of that slot, and then I'll be releasing my hydraulic lines. Again, you can see part of the subframe of the backhoe here slid out of the tongue where the pins were. If we come around the front, you can see the slot right here where the front part of the tongue was. Now all we do right now is we'll take our levers, our control levers, we'll lower our hydraulics, you'll see the frame lowering, and you just set her on the ground nice and easy. We want all the pressure released. And that's how I do it. Not saying that's the right way, not saying that's how you should do it, but that's how I do it. So here she is, all setting by herself. Not that bad. You know, it took me a little longer because of recording this and because of having a camera in my hand and not being familiar with the camera. It usually takes me about, I don't know, it's less than 10 minutes. Usually takes me less than 15 minutes to hook it up, just because whenever I go to hook it up, you always want to double check everything, or at least I always want to double check everything. Couple last things on this. If you have caps for your hydraulic hoses, make sure you always put them on there, like I didn't on this one, but I am now. You want to keep dust and dirt out of those little tips there. That'll save you in the long run. Dust getting into your hydraulics, dust getting into your filters, those little fittings, they get to be a bear. They're expensive to change. The other thing is even though this was just setting, you can see hydraulic fittings have just been greased. I'll grease it again before I go out. That's just me. But like keeping the equipment maintained. Cost you less money that way, at least in my opinion. Again, fittings, dust caps, you will see they're always on there. PTO shaft covers off just because I'm getting ready to hook up the bush hog, which I'm not going to show you because there'll be a lot of grunting and groaning and maybe a few unpleasant words, just because of fitting my big body in that space is not really that easy, but it'll be on there, and then maybe we'll get a few pictures or a little video of bush hogging maybe a third of the property, because that's all we have available right now to bush hog, and that'll be it. But backhoe, subframe, pretty simple, not bad overall, and you know, fun stuff. So maybe every now and then I'll still be on video, but other than that, look, goat and chicken. We'll see you later.